A couple of days ago I left you with this position from a game of Magnus Carlsen that he played in 2002 when he was just 11 years old. And white to play. How do you pursue the attack against black's king? Well, Carlsen played c5. I think this move is pretty obvious. And after the pawn was taken, then knight takes pawn. So this just opens up black's king. Now obviously if the queen takes, then rook c1 will win the queen. So king takes. Now here's the trick, and I think it's this next move which is easy to miss. Of course, if you just check the king, then it's going to run away. And actually, here, black is just a piece up. The king survives. So what do you do? And this is very typical. Rook d1. So that prevents the king coming back to safety. And now it's just carnage. I mean, the threat is obviously just to check the king, and there's absolutely no defense here. Black tried queen e5, then b4 check. Very typical in a king hunt. You drag the king forward. So king takes pawn, and now it's just dead easy. King gets cut to shreds. And now queen e2, checkmate. Very nice indeed. So beautiful the way the king was dragged forward. Not too difficult, but you do have to see that move rook d1. Okay, let me give you the next game in my top 10 best finishes from Magnus Carlsen. So this was a game played in 2003 when Carlsen was just 12 years old, and it's from the Politiken Cup, which is a well-established tournament in Copenhagen. Carlsen with the white pieces, playing against Harrestad. And it's a typical Spanish position. Black has gained space on the queen side and has a very fine knight on c5. And there's an open a-file, but I mean, white is very solid on the queen side, holding up any counterplay. But white has to try and break through on the other side of the board. And you can see the knights massing on the king side, and the queen ready as well. So Carlsen played knight h6, obviously looking after a trade to bring his queen into the attack. So I mean, this is very logical while black's heavy pieces are on the other side of the board. So Carlsen's opponent played knight g5. So time to open up the position. Can't dally. So f4. So if king takes, then obviously white will take on g5, and then the rook comes in, for example. So in this position, e takes f4. So Carlsen recaptured with the queen. Now, of course, the king could take the knight. But in this case, white will win the piece back and his initiative continues. Probably black should do that. But instead of that, black played bishop takes pawn, which looks very adventurous. I mean, one thing is it stops white from playing h4, but of course, if this bishop is taken, then knight takes will fork king and queen. So what did Carlsen have planned against this move? Bishop takes pawn. What did Carlsen play next? How did he finish off the game? So over to you again, and I'll give the solution in the next video.